Okay, hello everybody. Today we're here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 in Just Flight's Piper Warrior 3. We have a 45 nautical mile flight from India 73 Moraine Airpark to India 74 Grimes Field. Moraine Airpark is a payware field by Cloud Studio, and Grimes Field is freeware by KDrain20 available on flightsim.to. Check out the video details for the link. Should be an awesome flight, so let's hop into the pilot seat and get started. All right, we'll start by verifying that our circuit breakers are in, our switches are off, our mixture is to idle cutoff, and our throttle is closed. Our fuel selector is to the left fuel tank. Head down here and the trim is to takeoff. Prop area looks clear. We'll start by getting the battery and the alternator on. We'll check the fuel tank left and right, and we've got full fuel tanks for both of those. So that all looks good. We'll turn on the nav lights, which will also bring up the panel lights to let everybody know that we're about to start the engine. Next, we'll go mixture full rich, crack the throttle a bit. We'll turn on the fuel pump, call clear prop. And before we start up, let's close the door because it's just going to slam closed from the prop wash. Feet on the brakes. Keys are in the ignition. Over to start. And we've got a good start. Bring the throttle down a little bit. Verify that we have oil pressure from the oil pressure gauge. And then we can lean the mixture for ground operations. All right, annunciator panel is clear. Let's close up that storm window. That'll reduce some of the noise. Now we'll head over here and turn on the avionics switch. We'll also turn on the DME while we're here. We've got the real-life HOTAS playing from Cincinnati. And we'll use it to set the altimeter. So we're actually just south of Dayton here at Moraine Airpark. And then we'll check that matches with field elevation. All right, let's load up for flight and I'll take you through the flight brief. So we're departing from Moraine Airpark, India 73. That's an untowered field. You can see it has a field elevation of 720, 3,500 foot runway length. If we tap open Moraine and check out the weather, we can see it looks pretty good. Currently good VFR day. Later on in the day, it looks like we'll get some light rain. But for now, I think we've got pretty clear skies. So on departure, we're going to fly east to a VFR reporting point, which is Xenia. Apologize if I'm saying that wrong. Then we're going to head northeast, overfly Springfield Airport, then overfly Springfield as a VFR reporting point. We also have a nice reservoir just northeast of Springfield. Then we will turn at Cook 38 India, and that'll put us on a 45 to overfly Grimes Field at pattern altitude plus 2,500, bringing up the weather for Grimes Field. Again, looks good. It's only 45 miles away. We've got showers later in the day, but currently we've got nice VFR weather for flying. Now, if we zoom back out, you can see we do have some SIGMETs for icing and turbulence. Those are higher level altitude, so that's not going to be a concern for this flight. We do have PIREPs, but the PIREPs are actually saying no icing and no turbulence, so that's a good sign. So I'm expecting a pretty good flight. Okay, we'll make our CTAF call. Moraine Airpark traffic, November 8289 Alpha, taxi from the grass to runway 08, hold short, Moraine Airpark. All right, so we're parked here on the grass. The windsock was off to my left here. You couldn't see it, but it was clearly pointing to runway 8 for our departure. We're down the taxiway. We're streaming live ATC from Dayton, which is the nearby Class Charlie to the north of us. And here we are at the hold short lines. Nice short taxi, so we'll stop and do our run-up. We'll get the mixture to full rich for the run-up, and then we'll check that our flight controls are free and correct. Elevator up and down. Left aileron down. Right aileron down. We check the rudders when we check the elevators. Everything looks good. Next we'll bring up the throttle to 2000 RPM and do our magneto check. So when we do this, we're going to turn off each magneto individually and look for a drop. So we'll start by going to mag left. If you watch the switch there under the yoke, watch for the drop. We've got a good drop back to both. Now we'll go to mag right. Good drop equal to the mag left drop and back to both. So everything looks good, no fouling. We'll check carb heat. Got a carbureted engine, so carb heat on. And we've got a slight drop. Carb heat going on, should get about 50 RPM, bring that back up. Now we'll get our lights on, so we've got the landing light, we'll bring our strobe lights on. Get our transponder into alt reporting mode. That was one too many, I just accidentally idented back to alt. Moraine Airpark traffic, Warrior 8289 Alpha, departing runway 08, will be doing a straight out departure climbing to 3,500 Moraine. Alright, game on. As we're getting underway, I'll give you some real-life updates. The first is on my real-life flight lessons. So as you know, I was cramming for the final for the check ride, and unfortunately, I went like 6 weeks without flying. It was a mix of weather and schedules and aircraft availability. And then when I got my single lesson in with my instructor, it wasn't quite enough to get me there, and now he's gone. He got scooped up by the airline, so awesome for him. But I keep losing instructors because they go to the airlines. So now moving on to my 5th instructor, and hopefully in about a week I'll have my first lessons with him, and we can move forward and get me to my check ride. The other one is, if you've watched the channel, you've heard me mention that I am a sci-fi author of the Hayden's World series, and I had an author interview with the narrator who did the audiobook for Hayden's World. So I'll leave a link in the video details if you're interested in that. Check it out. It's a podcast, so it's available on just about any forum that hosts podcasts. All right, we are climbing out. We are on our initial heading of 096. We're going to climb to 3,500, and I've got some traffic straight ahead, so I'm going to turn to the right here. We'll jog around him so that we're clear, and then once we're past him, we'll cut back over to the left and get on our initial heading. So we are looking good. It's that point when we can sit back and just enjoy that awesome flight simulator scenery. great. As always, that was a fun flight. I love both of these airports. I think Grimes in particular, for being freeware, is just amazing. So be sure to check out the link so that you too can get it for free. And I'll be sure to do more flights out of it because I love this airport. Landing the Warrior is a bit of a challenge. It acts definitely differently than the Cessnas that I'm used to flying, but I will get the hang of it. It wasn't too bad of a landing. So I hope you enjoy content like this. If you do, be sure to click that like button, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, as always, for flying along with me, and stay tuned for further flight adventures.